Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Bhima Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. 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 Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Mithai Gauranga, Mithai Gauranga. Mithai Gauranga, Mithai Gauranga. Mithai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Mithai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Oh, Hari Ram, Hari Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Kishore 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 Jaya Kishore Kishore Jaya Gaurani Thai Gaurani Thai Gaurani Thai Jaya Gaurani Thai Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Premanande Hare Hare Bol Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shatashishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shatashishimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Sat Goswami Prabhu Ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radakunda Girigobadhana ki, Sri Vrindavan Dhama ki, Sri Majapurna Badui Dhama ki, Sri Jagannath Puri Dhama ki, Ganga Maji Jamuna Mai ki, Bhakti Devi Shrimati Tulsi Maharani ki. The most beautiful Lordship, Sri Shri Kishori Kishori ki, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Jagya ki, Paramakaruna Sri Sri Gauranitai ki, Sri Jagannath Sri Baladev Shrimati Shubhadra Maharani ki, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
What a surprise. I was here 2 Sundays.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladadadayine. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha Shilatanka Nakalaye Itone Singa Paratone Singa Yato yato yamita tone singa Vayene singa hridayene singa Vayene singa hridayene singa Singamadim Sharanam Prapade Singamadim Sharanam Prapade Tavakama Kananavare Nakama Dutta Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare Navakara Kamala Vare Nakama Tutta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Metta Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gauri Bol. सिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। On behalf of our founder Acharya, Sri Prabhupada, I would like to welcome each and every one of you for our Sunday Feast program. Today is a very special day. We have His Holiness Romapada Maharaj here, and also another guest from Bombay, His Grace Bhima Prabhu. Let's welcome them with a loud Hari Bol. You're all familiar with His Holiness Romapada Maharaj. He is GBC for this area, and he has been guiding us, leading the movement of Srila Prabhupada in North America and rest of the world for several years. Bhima Prabhu is a trustee of BBT. That's the arm of ISKCON which publishes the books, Bhakti Vedant Book Trust. And as we all know, Prabhupada was very much keen that all the books are published and distributed so that many people in this world could benefit from Krishna consciousness. So today's lectures will be delivered by His Holiness Romapada Maharaj and His Grace Bhima Prabhu. I was just thinking that together, if you look at it, it will be something like 80 years of experience. Okay. So it's not every day that we get this opportunity. We are going to celebrate Radha Ashtami on next Saturday, 22nd of September. The program will be here in the temple hall starting at 6 o'clock in the evening. We would like to extend an invitation to each and every one of you to join us with your family and friends. See, when there's an invitation for a birthday party, sometimes you have some excuses that, I have something to do, I am busy, and I have to go for a movie or something like that. But when there's an invitation from Kishore Kishori, you definitely come. So we look forward to seeing all of you next Saturday with your friends. Is there anybody here for the very first time? Yeah, we have a small gift for you if you would like to walk up. Please come. Please come up. Yeah. Thank you so much, and we would like to see you every Sunday. Thank you. Let's make little adjustments. We move and make an aisle here so that people who are coming for darshan can come up. And please do switch off your cell phones and take care of your children. Thank you so much.
Bhima ji. Where's Bhima? Ah. Do the garland part, then find him. Where is he? Quick, 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 quick. Oh, there you are. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Braja Janurandana Ankit Jasodanandana Braja Janurandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Braja Janurandana Jasodanandana Braja Janurandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai God Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai God Hari Bol Nitai God Hari Bol Hari Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Kishore Kishori ki Jai, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. Hari Bol. We only need one, thanks. Takes the while for the children to figure out the kirtan is over. Okay. Some of them got it. During the past 4 weeks, we've been discussing the book of the month. And Nectar of Devotion is that book that we've been discussing. I got to kick the ball first, and then Nityananda Pran kicked the ball again. And nice topic, Nectar of Devotion. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in its summary study. And the publication is a BBT publication. Now, some of our guests don't know what BBT is, but by the end of this evening you will, because that's our subject. Seated over here in this seat, where the microphone is in front of me, I'm an officer of ISKCON, and seated right over here is Bhima Prabhu, who's an officer of ISKCON and an officer of the BBT. He's got 2 nice hats. And what we're going to be discussing is, what is the BBT? What did it mean for our founder Acharya? The BBT is the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So what is the BBT? And what did it mean to our founder Acharya? And what's the relationship between the BBT and all of us, the members of ISKCON? So I'm going to speak something, and then Bhima Prabhu will speak everything that's important after I speak something.
If you leave me anything.
Huh?
If you leave me anything to say.
Count on it. I'm sure that those of you that have been before have noticed what's on the wall as you go up to the prasadam room, because I'm sure you go to the prasadam room. And on the wall going up to the prasadam hall upstairs, there's these nice statements by Srila Prabhupada about how important it was to him to see that his books were distributed widely, profusely. And I've been sharing a little bit over the weekend how Prabhupada very expertly increased book distribution because we knew how much it meant to Srila Prabhupada to see that his books were distributed. So we tried our very best to distribute his books. And then when he would see how well we did with the book distribution, he would say, "Very good. Now double it." Or I remember in the Back to Godhead days when there weren't so many other books, it was 4 times. Oh, it is very nice. The different temples in North America are distributing so many Back to Godhead magazines. I would now like to see, and the number that he gave was 4 times what we did just previously. And so many for Los Angeles, and so many for New York, so many for Boston, so many for Montreal, and somehow figure out how to do it. And the order was made. We had to distribute them. And we were thinking, 4 times what we were already just now giving our very best to do, but somehow the order is there, we must do it, and somehow we did it. And then, very good, you've done very nicely. Now, it just kept increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. And so one of the ways to distribute more books is to have more people distributing books. Many hands make light work, right? So I see some hands. I see some faces and smiles, and I also see some hands. And listen carefully to how Srila Prabhupada envisioned the connection between ISKCON and the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So I'll do a little bit of my own experience with the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. As before, it was the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. It was ISKCON Press. And I was a college student in upstate New York, and one of the places that I looked into for attending graduate school was in Boston. And because as a student at the university where I went, I knew there was a little Hare Krishna center at the university, so I went to Boston. I thought I would visit the Hare Krishna temple in Boston. And there's many things to say, but just the ISKCON Press related part was, at that time, ISKCON Press was in Boston. And the persons who were assembled there were the artists, the editors, the transcribers. Prabhupada would dictate the Bhaktivedanta purports, and they would transcribe, and then the editors would edit, and the typesetters would typeset, and the artists would make the paintings, and it was the production, ISKCON Press. And the Krishna consciousness of those devotees was so wonderful, way up there, and I was so inspired that next thing I knew I was living in the ashram to be with those devotees. I mean, some things happened in between. Took a leave of absence from school and some things, others, and ended up in the Boston Temple. And then, following Srila Prabhupada, following his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada wanted to have our own printing press, as Bhaktisiddhanta had multiple printing presses that ran 24 hours a day. So Boston was the place. And then they tried one devotee named Advaita to run the printing press, and he didn't know how to run the printing press. But there was another devotee in New York who knew how to run a printing press, because he had done that before he'd become a devotee, and his name was Gadadhar. So Gadadhar went from New York to Boston, and I was trade. Went from Boston to New York to leave all that wonderful association in Boston. But what to do, because I was a trade. You know, this baseball player for that baseball player, like that. So I went to New York, and lo and behold, after some time, the press moved from Boston to New York, and I had that association again, ISKCON Press, and Tiffany Place in Brooklyn, near our Henry Street Temple. So ISKCON over here and ISKCON Press over there. And the devotees from ISKCON Press, they lived in the temple, but we couldn't engage them in service because they had their service. There was ISKCON Press. But one thing the Prabhupada said, listen to this, even you have such important service, you must go and distribute my books 1 hour every day. And they explained in writing letters to Prabhupada how that was difficult because it just was right in the middle of their day, and how did it work. And he said, even it's important, you must distribute my books. You must go out 1 hour a day. And so finally it was settled. They went out 1 day out of the week to make up for the 1 hour a day. And I was the Sankirtan leader, so that's the only time I had access to those devotees. And everyone went out and distributed books. Everyone except one person, the Pujari, the Sankirtan leader that took care of whatever the problems were from their stuff. So it was ecstatic. It was, the list of every single devotee in the temple, every man, woman, child, cat, and mouse went out in Sankirtan, distributing books, and the congregation members would drive. Ed Kelly, Cadillac Ed, took his father's car and came to the temple and took devotees out in Sankirtan, and this one and that one, and everyone. It's all over town, distributing Prabhupada's books. And then, lo and behold, ISKCON Press moved to Los Angeles. Because they had facility, and Prabhupada spent lots of time there because of his health, and he could oversee it, and some other reasons. And then it became not just ISKCON Press, but the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, it represents the, using legal language, the intellectual property. Those of you that know about these things know what that means. The intellectual property of our founder Acharya. And there's a separate trust. There's ISKCON that's incorporated, and it's a religious corporation according to the laws of the land. And separately is the trust that holds the copyrights of the intellectual property of our founder Acharya. And the purpose of the BBT, besides holding the copyright, is to provide the printed and other media material for our founder Acharya, that which he wanted to provide to the world in as many languages and as many numbers as we could possibly manage, and then he said, do more. That's what he expected the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust to do. And then ISKCON was the organization that he created for those who had received and read and digested and were supposed to be the examples of the teachings of that intellectual property of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. ISKCON was the fruit, but the BBT was the blood, and the printing press was the heart, or he called, using the same language as his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta, the Brihat Mridanga. There's one Mridanga, and when you play the Mridanga, you can hear it for some distance. Prabhupada said you can hear a block away, maybe more. But the Brihat Mridanga you can hear all around the world. Maybe you can verify if this is correct. But there was one devotee who received a book in Japan, and it might have been Bhanu Swami. Devotees hadn't been to Japan, but somehow one devotee in Japan received one of Prabhupada's books, and just from reading one of Prabhupada's books in Japan, he became a devotee. And Prabhupada pointed to that, just see. Now that devotee, if it's Bhanu Swami, he's then since then done so much service for ISKCON and translated so many writings from Sanskrit to language that the rest of us can read that don't read Sanskrit, English. Volumes and volumes and volumes. So how did all of that service come? And he's a GBC member, initiating guru in ISKCON, but it started with the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Our life in ISKCON, all of us, without exception, we're the fruit of that work of Srila Prabhupada. And despite all of his physical difficulties, his health problems and his age and his managing, all of them managing the entire society of ISKCON and training his lump of coal Western disciples how to become polished jewels instead of lumps of coal, and lead the society so that he could then work on his Bhaktivedanta book literatures. He still spent so much time every day. I'm sharing a little, he's the founder Acharya of ISKCON, but he's also the founder Acharya of the BBT. And he put every day energy into both. And one of the things that he said, so just two little things, and then I'll give the microphone to Bhima to share whatever he wants to share about ISKCON and the BBT. Some of you have heard this before, but during this, the second time that I had association with Srila Prabhupada was when he came to New York, and so I was the trade to New York, and I was serving then in a temple that had over 100 devotees. Because so many books were being distributed, we had so many devotees that were coming because so many books were being distributed. 100 devotees. Look after 100 devotees. Where's Bhakta Dhruv? Amplify what you're going to do up by, so many times, 10 times. It was busy. And then, because I was the temple commander and the Sankirtan leader, it was a temple commander. It was the duty of the temple commander, at least then, meant you find people to do all the needed services, and you can't find somebody to do it, you do it yourself. That was what temple commander meant. So one of the duties when Prabhupada came to visit was to see that there were guards, because he's our founder Acharya. We wanted to not have any difficulty come to him. So there were 2 entrances to his quarters. One was the door that connected the temple room to his quarters, and the other was the back, because there was a back garden behind the Brooklyn Temple. So it was really easy to get people to guard his door, because then you just stand there and say, you can't enter. And even at night, because you had to guard at night, the door opened into Prabhupada's quarters, so someone could just roll out their sleeping bag, put their head against the door, and go to sleep. It was really easy to find somebody to do that one. Then in the back, because Prabhupada was active during the day and people coming and going, somebody was happy to guard the back. But at the night shift, no one wanted to do it. So the temple commander had to do it. So I did the night shift, but I really liked it because I got the opportunity firsthand to see, after everyone else is stretched out and snoring, that Prabhupada took rest. He had a very, very regulated schedule, extremely regulated schedule. And at around 9 o'clock, the day would stop. He'd go and sit in the front room, play harmonium, and sing bhajans, and just absorb himself in the songs of Narottam Das Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and transcendental mood. And then the light went out, so he was taking rest. And about 2.5 hours later, the light went on, and he went and washed his face and whatever he did in fresh, and then another light went on at his desk, and the light went on at his desk, and there's these, not this size, but this size books, the commentaries of the acharyas, and he would open to the right page, 6 of them spread out on his desk, and run his finger along the page, and then get out the dictaphone and do the Bhaktivedanta purports. Well, here we are, young, energetic, healthy, full of enthusiasm, and we're out cold. And here's Prabhupada in his, late years of life with health problems, without going into the detail, hardly sleeping. But he was so committed to prepare the Bhaktivedanta purports. I mean, he was there for a week, and I wish it had been for forever. But to see, along with all of the other things that he did, to watch that every night, it went very deep. It's still there. It's such commitment that Prabhupada gave to give us something that would live beyond himself. There's a scriptural reference in Canto 10, Chapter 2, the prayers of the demigods, to Lord Krishna within the womb of Devahuti. And there's one very nice verse where it says, the demigods are saying that a great personality not only makes their way to the other shore of material existence, but they leave behind the boat by which others can also cross the ocean of material existence out of their compassion for them. Beautiful verse and beautiful purport, and it's exactly what Prabhupada was doing. He knew what he was doing. He was giving the boat so that not just those who were his disciples present with him, but for generations and generations and generations. One devotee described what joy Srila Prabhupada had when receiving the new publications. There were two things that I wasn't there. This is just hearing from those that were there. Two things that he just stopped everything and felt the greatest joy. One was when he heard the book scores, how many books were distributed. Just everything stopped and he listened, appreciating what the dynamic meant. And the other was a new book came. And everything would stop. But no matter what was going on, everything stopped. And he got out the book because he was very expert. Before coming to America, he had personally seen to the printing of the first canto. So he knew everything about book publication. He examined the binding. He looked at the quality of the printing. He looked at the color plates, admired them. You've seen pictures. Some of them are on the wall. And these big smiles. So one time, I can't even remember which devotee it was that was describing. It might have been Ramaswar, but I'm not sure. He was very grave when looking through the book, and suddenly he put the book down on his desk like this and looked at the devotee and said, "One day there may be no temples. One day there may be no devotees, but there will always be my books." That was his meditation. The books were to make the hearts of people drawn to Krishna, and from that they would become devotees. And the devotees would want a congregating place and a place to bring others to hear and see the beautiful deity form of Krishna, have kirtan of Krishna. But maybe one day all of that, for whatever the reason, might be gone. There's still something enduring. And that's that dedication that Prabhupada personally gave. One morning walk in Durban, he was describing quality chanting. And in the course of that describing quality chanting, he was describing his writing of books. He said, "No one is telling me to do this, but I can't live without it." It was his life, his compassion, poured into indelible generation after generation after generation after generation. And these books, particularly Nectar Devotion, one comment that Prabhupada made is, these books are like our law books, and we should know them like a lawyer knows his law books. So that if there's any question about spiritual knowledge, you refer to the law book. This is it. And if it's here, that's it, it's conclusive. So one who makes some statement about spiritual something without reference to the law book, without reference to the scripture, Rupa Goswami says, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidhim Vina Ahikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpattaya Kalpate, means that person is just making a big disturbance. And how to not make a big disturbance? Have transcendental literature that can guide the hearts and the lives of the entire society back home to Krishna. And ISKCON is the fruit of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust has the interest of serving our founder Acharya and giving that literature which our members of ISKCON could take into the public and teach and distribute and give the wisdom of our founder Acharya. Our fidelity to the teachings found in these books that's our success, or in the absence of it, our failure. If we simply stick to the basics that Prabhupada has provided for us in his books, and this is certainly one very, very important book, The Nectar of Devotion, we'll be properly guided. Continue with our chanting and following of the principles, the standards of establishing internal and external purity, and be properly guided. So there's a relationship between the two, the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. It's the printing division, but it stands on its own. It's purposefully created by Srila Prabhupada in that way, that if anything ever did happen to ISKCON, it wouldn't happen to the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. It's separately established, and it has its particular function. And there are trustees of that book trust, and here's one of them, Bhima Prabhu. There's a Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in Los Angeles that Prabhupada personally established, but there's one also in India that Prabhupada personally established, and here's one of the trustees of that Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in India. Bhima Prabhu ki. Yeah.
So, in order to understand a little bit about the BBT, I usually like to go back and see how Srila Prabhupada got that inspiration to start the BBT. And actually he received 2 instructions from his spiritual master. The first time he met him was in 1922, and he was asked by a friend to meet one sadhu. He was reluctant to do it. He had seen many sadhus, but his friend insisted, and he went to the rooftop of a building in Ultadanga in Calcutta. And there, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was speaking, and Srila Prabhupada had an exchange with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But during that, he gave him the instruction that you try to preach this message of Lord Chaitanya to the English-speaking people. So that was in 1922. Srila Prabhupada always kept that instruction with him. So the other instruction that he got goes back to 1933. At that time, Srila Prabhupada was living in Allahabad, and he was a householder. It was Kartik. So he went with his young son to the Prikrama that was being organized by the Gaudiya Mutt in Vrindavan. And at that time, the Prikrama was in Vrindavan, just like it was in Radha Kund. Just like every year, the Prikrama is organized by ISKCON, and the devotees go out and visit the places concerned with Krishna's pastimes. So while Srila Prabhupada met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Radha Kund in the year 1933, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was expressing some dissatisfaction because although he had just made the Bagh Bazaar Gaudiya Mutt, which was a big, beautiful marble temple in Calcutta, he mentioned that there's a fire in the mutt. And that was because some of the disciples were arguing over which room they would get or they would occupy. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur expressed to Srila Prabhupada that he wasn't very happy by this. And he mentioned that at that time, if it's better to sell the marble in the temple and print books. So Srila Prabhupada realized that his spiritual master was very fond of books. And in fact, he told him at that time, if you ever get money, print books. So those are the 2 instructions that he got from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that was his inspiration for the rest of his life's activities, you can say. In 1944, he started the Back to Godhead magazine, and he was its editor, its publisher, its printer. He did everything. And he even was the distributor. Srila Prabhupada would go to the tea stalls in Delhi and sell copies of the Back to Godhead magazine. Later on, someone told him that, magazines are periodicals or monthlies. Better you publish some big books. So Srila Prabhupada embarked on translating the Srimad Bhagavatam into English. And after he published 3 volumes, the first canto, part 1, part 2, and part 3, then he decided to go to America. And it's a long story about how he got passage on the steamship Jaladuta. But when he went, he joined the ship in Calcutta, and his books joined the ship in Cochin, which is in the state called Kerala. So Srila Prabhupada went. Before he went, it took a long time before Sumati Morarji, who was the owner of the Scindia Shipping Company, to actually send Srila Prabhupada. At first she was reluctant to send him at all because he's such an old person, and she felt that he would be inconvenienced too much by the trip. But Srila Prabhupada insisted. And because he insisted, she took care that she found a proper captain. And the captain that she found was Captain Pandya. And you know how sailors are, they don't always have the best habits. But this one captain, she took care to find, who was a teetotaler and a vegetarian. And he was even so pious, he brought his wife with him whenever he went on the ship. So he was there to take care of Srila Prabhupada. And so Srila Prabhupada went to America with his 3 trunks of books, the first canto, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Now this was related to me by Brahmananda, one of the first devotees to join in 26 2nd Avenue. And he was just coming around 26 2nd Avenue, and he had been to India before, so he knew about a spiritual master, and he was thinking, okay, I'm going to surrender to Guru. So he took out of the bank all the money that he had, and even the money that he got. He had some stocks from his bar mitzvahs that he also had, and he took it and he gave it all. He went one day to Srila Prabhupada, who was sitting on the dais, and he gave it to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada accepted the donation. And then Brahmananda was thinking that because it was a good amount of money he had given to Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada would reciprocate with him by giving him his books. So he was sitting there waiting for that, but it didn't happen. So then he looked at the books and tried to encourage Prabhupada like that, but it still didn't happen. So then he was getting more anxious, and he said, Swamiji, what about the books? And Srila Prabhupada turned to him and said, oh, the books, they're extra. And so Brahmananda was like, he was like, but Swamiji, I just gave you all my money. And Srila Prabhupada said, well, that's all right. You can pay me later. So Brahmananda relates that it took him a long time to pay that money. And how much money was it? It was $16.80 for the 3 books. And how did Prabhupada come to that figure, $16.80? Well, Brahmananda also explains that. When he was getting off the ship, he was feeling very indebted to Captain Pandya because he had taken care of him so nicely. So he wanted to present him with a gift. He wanted to give him the 3 volumes of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But Captain Pandya was a very pious person. He insisted that he pay for it. He said, I want to pay for it. So Srila Prabhupada thought, okay, and actually in the book, if you see those old copies, it was printed in the book that the set cost 16 rupees and 80 paisa. All right? So Srila Prabhupada told Captain Pandya, okay, give me $16.80. And that's how the price came for those the full set of the first canto. So Brahmananda, he was so pinched by that it took him a long time before he paid that $16.80 back to Srila Prabhupada. But he relates also that it took him a lot longer time to realize that Srila Prabhupada was actually instructing him by that. And what he learned later is that you can't purchase the spiritual master. You have to genuinely surrender to the spiritual master. That's what he was being taught by that interchange with Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, yes, he encouraged the devotees to distribute books because of that initial instruction that he got from his spiritual master. And he said that I was following it blindly. I didn't know what would be the result. And, gradually he could see what the result was. By the distributing of books, devotees were coming, temples were expanding, etc., etc. And I have my own experience with that. I came to India, and in that time, in 1980, I came to Bombay, and there were hardly books in the local languages. But in the state where Bombay is, it's called Maharashtra, and the Marathi is the language that they speak in Maharashtra. So the Marathi Bhagavad Gita had just come out, the complete Marathi Bhagavad Gita. And I know we went to a place called Pandharpur, which is a place of pilgrimage in Maharashtra. And there's a certain Ekadasi called Ashardhi Ekadasi, where lakhs and lakhs of people come for darshan of the deity Vittala on that day. So myself and Lokanath Swami and some other devotees, we went to Pandharpur with 1,000 Marathi Bhagavad Gitas. And that Ekadasi, which was the first time Marathi Bhagavad Gita was being distributed complete in Maharashtra, we distributed in one day all 1,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So gradually over the years, we distributed lakhs of Marathi Bhagavad Gitas. The traveling Sankirtan parties would go to various towns and villages, and we were distributing many, many Marathi Bhagavad Gitas. And over the years, and I began to think, well, what's the result? I mean, we've distributed so many of these Marathi Bhagavad Gitas, but it wasn't evident to me what was the result that was coming. And it wasn't until sometime later, Lokanath Swami Maharaj had a temple that he built in Pandharpur, and he was installing the deities, Radha Pandriyanath. This was just some years ago. And he invited me to come down for the installation, so I took a train from Bombay and went to Pandharpur and was there for the installation. And during the installation of the deity, I was seeing that there were all these persons and from Maharashtra, and they were devotees. They all had tilak, they all had bead bags, and they were chanting the holy name of the Lord. And there were thousands. There was 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 persons that came to the installation. So then I realized this is the result of the distribution of the Marathi Bhagavad Gita. And today there are centers all over Maharashtra. Besides the big center in Bombay that Srila Prabhupada established, there's practically speaking, every district, there's a center of Krishna consciousness, at least a Namhata or congregational program that's going on. So this is the result of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So Srila Prabhupada wanted that perpetuated. And as Maharaj mentioned, Srila Prabhupada worked very hard. One time he mentioned that these books are not just for selling, they're also for reading. Right? Everyone should read my books, Srila Prabhupada said. Otherwise, why am I working so hard? And certainly he was working hard. While the BBT was working on Srila Prabhupada's books, he was also translating. So at some point, Srila Prabhupada stopped his very important work of translating Srimad Bhagavatam to translate the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He wanted to give the devotees all the nectar. At one point, just in case he wasn't able to do it, to translate the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, so he did a summary of the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam called the Krishna book. And in the same way, he wanted the devotees to have all the information about Lord Chaitanya from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he translated the, I think it was 18 volumes, 17 volumes of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just about the time I joined the movement, which was way after Maharaj joined the movement, they had one of those volumes out. Was the Adi Leela Part 2, I think they started with.
Lord Chaitanya and 5 Features.
Lord Chaitanya and 5 Features, right. But Srila Prabhupada had finished the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita and the other volumes weren't out. So he was concerned about that. He was so far ahead of the devotees in the BBT. So once in Venice, on Venice Beach in Los Angeles, California, Srila Prabhupada was on his morning walk and he was expressing this, that the BBT was way behind him in his work. And he felt that they ought to catch up. So at that time, in charge of the BBT was Rameshwar, and his production manager was Radhabalava. So they dropped behind the other devotees that were on the morning walk with Srila Prabhupada, and they began to discuss how they could, at that time they were doing one book in about 3 or 4 months. They were completing one book in 3 or 4 months. So they came back to Srila Prabhupada, and they said, Prabhupada, I discussed with Radhabalava, and I think we can do one book in 2 months. And then Srila Prabhupada said, you should do all 17 books in 2 months. And Rameshwar said, Prabhupada, that's impossible. And Prabhupada put his cane in the sand, and he looked straight at Rameshwar, and he said, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. And then all the devotees were looking at Rameshwar. So again, he fell back from the morning walk, and he again started to speak with Radhabalava about how to do this. Such what he felt was impossible thing to do. Shri Kishore Kishori Gornitai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. So they started getting ideas. They started brainstorming about how they could actually do it. And one of the ideas was that, okay, if we're going to do this, then we have to have the press that's in New York, it's got to come to Los Angeles. So that reminded me, you said it moved. That was one of the reasons it moved, was to finish the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So they came back to Prabhupada and they told Srila Prabhupada, okay, Srila Prabhupada, but in order to do this, we're going to need all the devotees from the press to come to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles had facility. They had rooms and different things. And Prabhupada said, okay, do it immediately. So that's a whole other story about how the devotees worked tirelessly morning and night. Sometimes they were painting and they'd fall asleep at the canvas, so another devotee would come and finish the painting for them. Night and day they were working, but they did it, 17 volumes in 2 months. And when they presented it to Srila Prabhupada, he was very happy. And after that, Rameshwar describes that they felt like they could do anything then. Right? If you surrender to Guru and Krishna, that there's no task that you can't accomplish. If you want to do it for Krishna, you can do it. So they felt very encouraged by that. And so Srila Prabhupada, he started the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust as the publishing wing of ISKCON. It's actually one organization, but as Maharaj mentioned, there was reasons why he incorporated the BBT separately. One is to hold the copyrights. 2, if anything ever happened to ISKCON, BBT would still be, the books would still be there. The BBT is a printing books in so many places in the world There's one unit in Europe, Northern Europe, and Southern Europe, in South America, Los Angeles, and in Bombay, and in Australia.
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, right. So they're all part of one unit called the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, although they're incorporated separately in their particular countries in different ways. And they cooperate together. Srila Prabhupada, at one time there was some devotees that were thinking they would amalgamate all the temples together and they would be one unit and there would be one accounting system. But when Srila Prabhupada heard about it, he was very upset because he wanted the temples to be managed autonomously, individually. And the only thing that he wanted centralized for printing and for distribution purposes was the BBT. And it's easy to understand because if he didn't want individually each temple printing the books, if Chicago was printing, New York was printing, there would be much smaller print runs. If they amalgamate all the requirements into one print run, you have a much larger print run. And depending upon the size of the print run, the cost of the books will reduce. So that's why Srila Prabhupada wanted for printing, everything should be centralized. Right? And so and that's how the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust came about. Distribution was going on, and Srila Prabhupada was always encouraging the devotees. And one of the ways he would encourage the devotees is that the temple that distributed the most books, he would come and visit that temple. Right? So in 1974, Srila Prabhupada came to Chicago because Chicago was the number one book distribution temple in the world. At that time in 1974, what they called the BBT airport party was living here. And the Chicago airport was very good for book distribution. And you had such great stalwarts as Tripurari and Keshava Bharati and Kavi Chandra, etc., etc., etc. They were all staying here in Chicago and going to the O'Hara airport. When Srila Prabhupada came here, he said, it's not O'Hara, but it's O'Hare airport. So one thing that I tell devotees, if you want Srila Prabhupada to come and visit your temple and to have Prabhupada consciousness in your temple, then distribute more books, and surely he will be there. Srila Prabhupada, wherever he went, one of the things he would ask, the temple management is, are the books going out? And not only the books have gone out, but have you paid the BBT? Right? So he was concerned that the books would be distributed and that they will also be paid for. So the arrangement that Srila Prabhupada, the transcendental arrangement that Srila Prabhupada made for the BBT is that BBT was the publisher, and BBT would supply the books to the ISKCON temples, who were the distributors, and then they would pay the BBT for the books. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned how that money should be used. Everything, Srila Prabhupada didn't leave it for our speculation. He was very explicit how the BBT money should be used. And it's even in the Memorandum of Association and the Charter of the Trust that he formed himself. And that is that 50% of the funds that come should be, again, used for printing books, and 50% should be used for constructing temples. So the BBT over the years has been following that formula given by Srila Prabhupada. Reprinting books, printing more books, making new titles, getting books translated into various languages, and supplying money to ISKCON for constructing temples. Some of the examples of the temples built are, well, the temple where I am, the Bombay temple, was built by the North American BBT. At that time, that was the largest BBT. And the Vrindavan temple was funded by the BBT, as well as both of the samadhis, Srila Prabhupada's actual samadhi in Vrindavan, as well as the Pushpa samadhi in Sridham Mayapur. And presently, although Ambarish Prabhu is taking the lion's share of constructing the temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, the BBT is also doing its share by supplying funds for the temple construction. So that's the arrangement that Srila Prabhupada had for the BBT and for ISKCON. You can say that ISKCON is the beneficiary of the BBT, right? It's there to benefit ISKCON by constructing temples, and similarly, without ISKCON, BBT wouldn't have so many customers to give the books to. So it's a very tight relationship and reciprocal relationship. One encourages the other, and it's all the brainchild of Srila Prabhupada for the distribution of Krishna consciousness all around the world. Hare Krishna.
A number of you, not all of you, but a number of you were present, I'm sure, when Vaisheshika Prabhu visited Chicago. He's based in California, in the Bay Area, in the Silicon Valley area, actually. He calls it ISV, ISKCON Silicon Valley. But he also says, from a letter that Prabhupada wrote about managers, that management should be done where there's inspiration, spontaneous, and ISV. Voluntary service. And that's the art of management. So, by Vaisheshika Prabhu's involvement as he's the minister of book distribution in North America, it's an ISKCON service, but he is certainly intimately connected with the BBT. At our once a year, it was twice a year, now it's once a year, we have meetings of all the presidents in North America and all the GBCs in North America, and we meet together to chalk out the plan for the coming year. So by his inspiration, all the temple presidents in North America made a commitment. And Nityananda Pran is one of those that made the commitment, and I was there, made the commitment also, that whatever books we distributed last year, 2011, we will distribute 20% more books this year. So every temple president all around North America made that pledge, and we're a little behind, but very, very close, because some temples like Los Angeles, they were, way up there, and 20% of way up there is difficult because it's already way up there. So the other temples that were kind of, down here have to do so much more to make up for what Los Angeles and Rupanuga Vedic College, that they're traveling Sankirtan parties. But we're close. And here in our Chicago area, not just the temple, but the greater Chicago area, once a month there's a Sankirtan festival, book distribution, Sankirtan festival. Look and see if you still have two hands. And if you do, please give a hand, or two, to join us for the monthly Sankirtan festival so we can distribute more of Srila Prabhupada's books and meet the 20% increase formula was specifically so that not just we can keep needed titles in print, but again, as Bhima Prabhu was saying, when the volume increases, then the unit price comes down, and then we could still increase our book distribution, have the additional titles that those that are ordering books for temples know. Sometimes books are out of print because they need more books distributed so they have enough income to print all the books. Everything can stay in print and new titles. So when's our next monthly Sankirtan festival? September what? 29th. September 29th? Yes, Maharaj, September 29th. Okay, so put that in your calendar. If you're free on September 29th, where do they go? Should they contact somebody here, like Acharya Nishta or somebody? Acharya Nishta, can you stand up, please? This is our temple Sankirtan leader. And Kirtida, is she here? She's in the lobby. Kirtida, could you come out of the lobby and come into the temple room? Someone get her. She's shy. Except when she's on Sankirtan, then she's not shy. Come so the devotees can see. So when they want to volunteer for the monthly Sankirtan festival, they know who to go to. All these ladies over here, they just want to know who to see when they can go and distribute books. And if you get a little of Kirtida's association, even you may be a little timid or a little shy, she'll take care of that. She'll hold you by the hand and you'll feel really good about distributing books. What's the date again? September 29th. Get in touch with Kirtida from the ladies' side and Acharya Nishta from the men's side, and let's distribute a lot of books this September 29th, and you'll have lots of fun. And we have a number of months until September, October, November, December. We have 4 more months. You're volunteering. Give her the microphone. Speak slowly.
For those persons who don't want to go out to distribute books on the street, if you're too busy or if you're not feeling comfortable, we have a program called Shastra Dan. Shastra Dan is a program where you can give a donation, and your donation will pay for us to put together meditation kits, which include Srila Prabhupada's books. And then we will take those meditation kits and go to the universities and the high schools, and we'll give them out. And every person that receives a meditation kit, we will take their email, and we'll follow up with them. So that way they can also learn about Krishna. So if you want to know more about this program, by the bake sale table, we have a big display. And we also have gifts for those people who take part in the Shastra Dan program. So please come and see the display and hear more about it.
You're going to be out there as soon as we finish here?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
There's one other program that you can do. It's called e-book distribution. In other words, you can, if you want to send a book home, say to Ahmedabad or wherever your folks are, or your family, there in India, where you can go to that website and you can order a book, and they'll make sure that it gets right to your doorstep. A Bhagavad Gita or any other book that is there with the BBT. This program has been going on for a lot of the persons that are living in the Middle East, and we want to make it available for the persons that live here in North America and have family members back in India. So that's another way you can distribute books and also, give the books to your family members. So there's a poster that'll be put up. I've given it to Nityananda Prabhu, and all the details are there in the poster.
Have any of you, I have one more anecdote to tell, just to end on a nice, happy note. Have any of you, maybe even some of you here, who started practicing Krishna consciousness or know someone who started practicing Krishna consciousness without having yet met a devotee? You met anybody like that? There are a number of people, I mentioned this, and I think it's Bhanu Swami, but I'm not sure, but someone from Japan, that just from reading one of Prabhupada's books in a faraway place. That happened with you also, yes? Our temple commander, Bhakta Dhruv, had not met devotees. But by the time he met devotees, you had read a number of Prabhupada's books. 5 of all of Prabhupada's books, and you were chanting. Okay. And
his brother got a book, but he never read it. He just kept it on the shelf.
Okay, his brother got a book, but didn't read it. And then later, Bhakta Dhruv took it off the bookshelf and read it and said, wow, and then read 5 books and then met Prithu Shrava and Dana Kelly at the university, Champaign-Urbana, and got himself Krishna conscious through their association. But I'll tell one other little story and then we'll end. One of the places that I visit, in fact, tomorrow I'm going there to China. And after the Festival of the Holy Name that we had here at the 4th of July weekend, next day I went to China. And one of the places I went to was, here's the map of China, and over here is the northeast. It's called Dongbei, means northeast. And one of the places I went was as far north in Dongbei as you can go before you bump into Siberia. It's really up there. And one of the places that the persons that were taking me around, that had a translator for, was a farm community of people that had never met a devotee. But they had one of Prabhupada's books in Chinese, Bhagavad Gita as it is in Chinese, and they were living by Bhagavad Gita as it is. They were chanting Hare Krishna literally all day long, working in the fields from 3 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, because it says always chant Hare Krishna, so they were always chanting Hare Krishna. When they met a devotee, they were really happy to meet a devotee. But just from Prabhupada's books, there's this whole community of people doing, they were really into it. Self-sufficiency, agriculture, etc., no pesticides, all of that nice stuff, but doing that for Krishna. So 2 + 2 = distribute lots of books in China, and distribute lots of books in North America, because there are people that if they just receive the book, something, even maybe later, put it on the bookshelf and your brother gets it later or something, who knows what. So please come on September 29th and join us and take part in the expressing our gratitude to our founder Acharya for giving of his wonderful association through his books. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Perhaps you already noticed now. Northwest. Sitting northwest.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
7:30. 7:30? Till 7:30.
Give me some medicine. You ma'am? Ah. Okay, you talk later. Hare Krishna. Pretty good. Yeah, 7:30. Are you coming again? I'll come. Just move this away from me. Let me get my Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 10 minutes? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare how many help Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna. It's only Sankirtan if everyone chants. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rati. Oh, yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Where's my choir?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Bolo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Choir. Help. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Y'all leave me hanging out there. Y'all just like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Help. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bravo! Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Make up for me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hey, ho, ho! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everyone, chant together, Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bolo, everyone. Oh, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm waiting for everyone to offer their obeisances. All right, raise arms, y'all. Raise arms. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Again. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, boom! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Loudly, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nidai Gaura Premanande, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Nam Sankirtan Jagna ki. The way, the truth, and the life, Hare Nam Sankirtan Jagna ki. Samyak Kirtan, that means Kirtan, the association of like-minded devotees ki. Gaura Premanande! Nidai Gaura Premanande! Nidai Gaura Premanande! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Gauranga, Gauranga. We tried it out because it was like, so I went upstairs and tried to remember and I couldn't remember. That was good. I started out with something simple so people will get connected. Yeah, that was a good connection. Because I ended Peru goes from that tune, he goes into